Hello, everyone. Welcome to Small Biz Tips. So, about 2 years ago, I think, 2 or 1 year ago, yeah, really 2 years ago, I was in a mastermind and I met this guy. He was talking about YouTube ads. I'm like, okay. He started dropping gems I never heard before. So I'm like, I got to get this guy to come to my podcast. After a whole year reaching out, we finally got this podcast and I can't wait for him to say those gems. Drew, what's up, man?
Hey brother, good to be here. And yeah, it's been a minute. It's been since Atlanta, so it's been about a year,
Yeah.
year and a half. So definitely I'm glad we can finally connect here on video and looking forward to sharing some wisdom here.
100%. So before we start, I want the people to know who is Drew.
Man, that's a tough question to answer. How much time do you have?
All right, give me like the shorter version.
Yeah. So in terms of the business side, I help entrepreneurs and brands get more leads and sales at scale. And I do that
Uh-huh.
specifically with video advertisements on YouTube. That is my main specialization.
Nice, nice, nice. I know a lot of YouTube ads expert, but I think you just like in the top tier, man, because what you know blew my mind. And I've paid people to learn YouTube ads. So when I've met you, I'm like, bro, I didn't know that. So I'm super excited to learn more. So before we even start, right, how'd you get into this? How'd you get into becoming like a YouTube ad expert?
Yeah, man, I think I actually have to take you back a little bit further. So probably around 2016, 2017, I was a branch manager for a luxury car rental company, right? So I was
Huh?
managing over $1 million a month in revenue. We had a
Mm,
fleet of over 900 cars. We
wow.
specialized in renting up Mercedes, BMWs, and Audis for the same prices of Toyotas, right? So I got a lot of experience with that in terms of managing large amounts of money, a
Yeah.
large team, and getting results, right? But I wasn't feeling fulfilled, right?
Mm,
I was doing the work, but I knew there's something missing. So about a day before my vacation started to go to Colombia,
uh-huh.
I confessed to my regional manager that I was thinking about making a change.
Okay.
So in order for them to save money on my 2 weeks of vacation, they decided to fire me right then.
Oh
So
wow.
my round trip vacation turned into a one-way ticket to Colombia. And that's
Ah,
actually where I got started with the whole online business kind of digital nomad lifestyle, right?
wow.
Met some entrepreneurs, started doing some work in terms of SEO, started doing some
Mhm.
work with web design, just anything I could kind of do online to learn, right?
Yeah.
And fast forward now, it's been almost, let's see, almost 7 years. I've kind of done the whole gamut of online marketing, starting going from copywriting to funnel building, and then
Mm,
then media buying, right? And so for the last 4 years, I've specialized specifically in YouTube ads, and I kind of just stumbled upon the opportunity
mhm.
when a friend at the time was actually running an agency that specialized in YouTube ads. I worked for him underneath them for a year, and that's where I
Yeah.
got the main specialization experience. Got to work with a lot of high level entrepreneurs, and after a year, I decided to go out and do my own thing.
I love it. I love it. Wait, so I worked in the car industry as well. I used to work for Enterprise back in the
Okay.
day.
Yeah,
So
I worked for the German company Sixt. So
ah,
they're relatively new, but
yeah.
they specialize in running German cars for the same prices that you get American cars or foreign cars.
Yeah, yeah. I know Six very well. So um I want to go back. When you first started running YouTube ads, a lot of people still sleeping on it. So tell us about, why YouTube ads right now. What makes YouTube ads so valuable? And because some people be like, oh, I'm a plumber. I don't know if I can even use YouTube ads. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So there's a few different distinguishing factors, but the main thing is that YouTube is a search engine compared to Facebook or Instagram or
Yeah.
Twitter. Is people are actively going to YouTube to search for information. They're searching how to do something. They're searching for the best plumber, right? Because you got to remember that
Yeah.
YouTube is owned by Google.
Yeah.
So Google is the biggest search engine. YouTube is the second biggest search engine. So people are actively going there to search for information. So you, as the business owner, have the opportunity to get your ads in front of that intention, right? It's an
Mm,
intention-based platform compared to Facebook or these other platforms that are more scroll-based, right? Because
yeah.
when you're on Facebook, you're scrolling down your timeline, all of a sudden you get interrupted by this ad or LinkedIn, right? And
Yeah.
it's more interest based. It's more about what pages you're following compared to YouTube. It's more based on what is the search intention at this very moment.
Gotcha. That is super valuable. So somebody's thinking about, how do I fix my pipes and stumble across that plumbing ad. they're more likely, instead of me trying to fix it, might as well get this guy to do it.
100%. Yeah, that's a really good example because you can create the ad, get in front of that intention, and you can
Mm-hmm.
obviously target based on location as well. Location with a radius. You can target age
Mm.
groups. You can target those keywords. The Google and YouTube, they switched up a few different things in terms of the targeting, but you can actually still
Yeah.
target keywords if you know how to set it up the right way. But they're moving more towards like an AI algorithm based where they want to basically do the targeting for you. But there's still different
Ah.
ways to get around that. And so what Google is doing and what a lot of these platforms are doing is they have so much data, so much information that they're able to
Mhm.
do the targeting for you. They're going more towards that customer profile, that audience, like who that person is compared to what they're searching for.
Would you like? There's a bunch of business owners that listen to this. A lot of people are not even posting on YouTube right now. Um, should they start posting on YouTube before they even think about YouTube ads, or they can jump onto YouTube ads right away? And then a follow-up question in that is, how do you determine YouTube ads is the way to go?
No, I think it's a great question. So the first part of that is yes, it's helpful when you already have some content up there, but
Okay,
it's not necessary. So I've worked with clients
gotcha.
that are brand new. They're literally just just trying to scale in their offers. They might be running some stuff on Facebook. They might be running on stuff on LinkedIn. They just
Yeah,
want more eyeballs on their thing, right? So I think the first thing we have to take it back to is though what are the three pillars of a successful ad, right? The three pillars of a
okay.
successful ad is first of all you have to have a good offer. And
Mm,
I always recommend to all my clients that you have an offer that's already converting well with organic traffic before you try to just throw it up on YouTube.
mm,
Don't go to YouTube and be like, okay, I want to test this offer to see if it works. Let's run some traffic to it. No, let's run it to your email list. Let's run it on even if you're running on Facebook, just run it
yeah,
organically first, and then we're going to scale it on YouTube. So that's the first pillar is the offer.
gotcha.
The second piece is the audience, right? You need to know who you're targeting.
Yeah,
So first of all, you know what you're selling, who you're selling it to, and then the final piece is the creative. So how are we going to sell it to them? So
gotcha.
you have the offer, the audience, and the creative. And those are the three most important pieces for that puzzle. Um, and one of the reasons I do like having existing content on YouTube
Yeah.
with clients is because of retargeting. So I always recommend
Mm,
using retargeting audiences first. So basically, people that have watched your videos, people that have subscribed to your channel already,
mm.
or people that have like interacted, or you can also upload your email list when you get to a certain point.
So these are like the low-hanging fruits. Start with the retargeting first and then go up. Wow, this is huge. This is definitely huge. Now, I want to go a little step further. When it comes to YouTube ads, I'm sure people are gonna ask this, right? How much money should I allocate for this? Like, how do I know? How do I create a budget for this so that this would actually work? Do I do 100
Sure.
bucks? Do I do $1,000? Like,
I mean, I think that it really comes down to what is your CPA, your cost per acquisition, right? So let's just say, for example, you have a product that you sell for $150, right?
Mhm.
And let's say that you want to acquire, you have a good margin on that. You can acquire a customer. You can pay up to $50 for that item.
Okay.
I always recommend spending at a bare minimum 10 times your CPA just to get started. So,
Okay.
for example, let's just say like your CPA is that $50 mark. You want to spend at
Yeah.
least $500 just to test it. But what
Yeah.
I recommend, I tell all my clients like, hey, like be willing to buy data because be willing to like set aside at least $1,500 to $2,500, and
Yeah.
we're gonna use that to buy data. We're gonna
Gotcha.
buy data. We want to see like what the metrics are. We want to see what the cost per click is, the click through rate, the cost per lead, the cost per acquisition. We want to know all the information, but expect that money to get nothing back. And anything we get back on that is just an added bonus. But start with
Gotcha.
that, 1 to 3K, kind of in that middle range. 2K is a sweet spot, and then just let's just buy some data and figure out what's working and how we can tweak and optimize and scale from there.
Now, I love the fact that you said that because a lot of people see, especially business owners that just starting with this, they'll spend 2, 3 grand and they're like, oh my God, I didn't make anything. I just lost money. Now realizing they're buying data to identify what's working and what's not. So that's a really shift of perspective for a lot of people. Huh. People don't think about that. I want to go a step further, right? What is the mindset have you seen for someone that's on YouTube, right? What's normally their mindset? And are we looking at when people do YouTube ads, is it just mostly to generate leads? or they'll be able to actually sell a product on there?
Yeah, so it really just depends on what stage of the funnel you're marketing to. So if we're talking about the consumer, the person that's actually watching the ad, right? They
Yeah.
basically usually they want two things. They want either to get away from pain, push away from pain,
Mm-hmm.
or they want to be pulled towards pleasure, right? Pain is more
Mm.
motivational than pleasure, but so I always recommend, using those hooks. Well, we can talk more about the video script as well and how to
Yeah.
script this and kind of the video hooks, but the two hooks that work the best are pushing away from pain, pulling towards pleasure. Pain is more motivational though.
Okay.
So if you think about that in that sense, I would in terms of the business owner, I would never recommend running ads to just get views on your videos or to just get subscribers, because
Mm,
those are vanity metrics. Those are metrics for the ego. Those are metrics that aren't going to get you anything. Those aren't
mm,
those aren't those aren't assets that you own. You want to run ads to things that build assets that you own, right? So you email contacts, you want to get you want to get sales, right? So leads and
yeah.
sales obviously are the two main things. And you can either give, so there's two different types of offers that work the best for YouTube ads. The
Yeah.
first being something that's for free. So a free training, a free
Okay.
case study, a free ebook, something that
Okay.
gives them value, right? The second thing is a low ticket offer, something between $7 and $47. Either it can be a
Okay.
continuity offer, it can be an ebook, it can be a mini course, something in that low ticket range. But anything over 47,
Yeah.
I would recommend running them to like something free and then trying to upsell them or sell them through
Absolutely. Yeah.
email, but keep it under 47.
Gotcha. Oh, this is valuable. Have you seen people that go in, that start with the free and then after they get the free, they get the 7 to 47? And then have you seen there's more conversion in terms of the bigger sell in the back end when somebody buy that, get the free and buy that product?
Yeah, so I think the best way to explain this would be through an example. So
Okay.
I have a client that has a webinar.
Hmm.
It's a coach. They have a webinar. So basically, the ad is it's a short ad, like 1 minute ad, and we drive them to a opt-in page for a webinar, right?
Okay.
Right. So they opt in. It's basically framed as a free training of a webinar,
Hmm.
and it's a live webinar every week. But on the thank you page, they actually basically get sold like a workbook or like an ebook.
Mm,
That's
gotcha.
between
Like a
that's
bridge
between
offer.
yeah, that bridge. So it's basically something that it's helping self liquidate. It's covering the cost of getting that
Yeah.
lead. So if you're, let's just say, like an average, you're going to spend between $10 and $20 per lead on YouTube, is because it's a higher quality lead, and you're going to be
Yeah.
spending a little bit more than Facebook or TikTok or anything. So let's just say it's $15. But we're gonna sell that workbook at between usually about $20 to $30.
Hmm.
So we're actually getting paid on the front end, right? If one out of every two leads buys that
Yeah.
workbook or that ebook, we're breaking even before we even get them into the webinar. And on the
Yeah.
webinar, we're selling them between the 1 to 2K product, right? So
Woo.
it's free to that low ticket to the kind of I wouldn't call a 1 to 2K offer a high ticket, but that mid.
Yeah.
And then also on the very back end of that, it's like you're calling those buyers and you're calling the leads, and your sales team's calling them to sell them into your high ticket coaching program, which is 5, 10, 15K.
Oh, wow. That is my wow. Okay. Okay, I see it. Wow, that is powerful. Now, if you think about it, like ah, being able to just start with that free offer and get somebody to buy that small low ticket item eliminates your cost of running the ad. So you're technically getting that customer for free.
Yeah, that's the name of the game, right? Like, how much are you willing to spend if you can get leads for free, right? It's like infinity.
Yeah.
As much money as you can get your hands on, you'll throw into the system. It's gonna spit out more money for you, right? That's how you win the game.
100%. So let's talk about some of your client success because I know you work with some pretty cool clients. What has been some of the success? You don't have to say a client's name, but like what have you seen has been super successful? And if you, I don't know, either a percentage or money amount.
Yeah. So I mean, over the last 5 years, I've generated more than $10 million in client sales, and
Congrats.
that's mainly, thank you. That's mainly using YouTube ads, as well as email as well. Um, but my favorite funnel in the funnel I've had the most success with is basically a VSL funnel. So
Okay.
it's an ad to a simple opt-in page where it's a big promise how to do X without
Yeah.
Y in Z days, right? So whatever thing they're looking for,
Yeah.
without the biggest pain point and then the time frame. And then name, phone number, email, opting in for that. On the next page, it's usually like a 10 to 20-minute video. You can
Hmm.
think of it almost like an accelerated webinar where it's just like short and sweet. It kind of takes all the fluff down from webinar and gets it to them right then and there. And then
Yeah.
at that point, they're booking a call and filling an application.
Okay.
So you're qualifying them through the application, and then you're getting them on a call, and then your sales team is closing them, right? So that funnel works for 5K plus, preferably 10K. So
Gotcha.
it mainly works for coaches, consultants, and creators. That's what I've seen
Yeah.
the most with. But just that funnel right there by itself, I've generated a few $1 million for my clients just using that.
Ooh, I love that. I love that. So I want to go back. You said something earlier about the DNA of a YouTube ad, right? The story, the hook. To tell us about that. What does that structure look like?
Yeah, so there's a specific structure that works for YouTube. And like I said, they've kind of changed the format of how the targeting works, but I still use the same format because the idea is previously, when you're able to use these cost per view or these manual bidding campaigns, we don't want to get too much into the technical stuff, but
Yeah, yeah.
basically what that means is like you're paying per view instead of letting Google doing an optimization on your target CPA or something like that, right? So with that is like what the way YouTube set it up in a way is so powerful is that you as the business owner only pay when they watch past 30 seconds or when they click the button at any given time. So let's just say, for example, you're on YouTube, the ad pops up at 15
Yeah.
seconds. Like after 5 seconds, you see that skip ad button. You hit
Yeah.
that right away. The advertiser's not getting charged for that impression. They're actually
Gotcha.
it's like basically a free impression. But let's just say you continue watching up to 35 seconds, then you hit skip. The advertiser is getting charged for that. So what
Mm.
you want to do with your script, and I still follow the same format today, is like you want to qualify your ideal customer in that first 30 seconds and disqualify everyone else. You're not trying to create an
Mm.
ad for everybody. You're trying to
Yeah.
create an ad for that 20 to 30% that are the highest likelihood of actually converting on your offer. So the first 3 to 5 seconds is the most important part, which is the hook.
Yeah.
All my scripts, what I do is I create 10 to 20 different hooks at the beginning, and then the rest of the
Okay.
body of the script will be the same. And what I'll do is my video editor will chop those videos up and place those hooks in the front, so we have 20 different hooks to test.
Oh,
And
wow.
we're just testing all these different hooks. Like I said, half of them are from pushing away from pain, half are
Yeah.
pulling towards pleasure. But we really want to test that first 3 to 5 seconds. We want to, like I said, call it their intention. Basically,
Okay.
what is on their mind today? What is their problem? We want to qualify when that is our ideal customer, disqualify everyone else. And then that's usually that first 30 seconds. And from there, we want to get into like, our credibility. Who are we? How many
Mm-hmm.
people have we served over how long? And then you want to get into a little more of the context and the story. And then at that point, you would introduce, a call to action. And then the kind of the end is more just kind of like the beginning where you're just recalling what their intention again, another call to action, and any
Gotcha.
other benefits that your product might have, and then just kind of wrapping up.
On average, how long are those YouTube ad videos? About 2 to 3 minutes, or they need to be longer?
No, no, I wouldn't. I would say right now the sweet spot is 1 to 2 minutes. You can't, you can't. I would recommend at least 30 seconds.
Okay.
So and then this is the other thing you have to test. So, right, I would create like maybe like three different batches of videos.
Gotcha.
I would create some that are like 30 to 60 seconds. I would
Uh-huh.
create some between the 1 and 2 minute mark, and then I would create some like kind of that 2 to 3 minute mark. So
Okay.
you just test these different ones. It really just depends on your offer, your niche, and what you have to sell.
Now, you mentioned something earlier about make sure your offer is a proven offer before you go YouTube to scale it. How do you know if it's a proven offer? How much money the offer need to make to say, okay, this is a proven offer? At least over 10 grand, over 5 grand, over 25 grand. You see what I mean? Because
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously it has to be profitable. So it has to be profitable organically. But what
gotcha.
I always recommend is like, okay, if you're paying if you're paying somebody to run your ads, if you're paying an expert like me, and
Mm-hmm.
you're paying for ads, like you should be at a bare minimum ready to spend at least 5 to 10K a month in ads.
Gotcha.
Like if that makes you squirm, like if you don't have
Yeah.
like, let's just say over 3 months you don't have an extra 15 to 30K to spend on
Yeah.
ads, like if
It's not
that would
really.
probably that'd kind of be the bare minimum. And then
Yeah.
obviously you're gonna scale that as it's working, right? But yeah, I would say like you need to have like at least 15 to 30K like in the
On the
bank to
side.
say like, yeah, to go at it.
I love it. I love it. Now let's talk more about you. You built a whole business around this, right? So to tell us more about the business side, like what has been, you know, what you enjoy about it, what's your vision for it in the next 2, 3 years? Kind of give us like a little peek in the, you know, behind the curtains.
Yeah, so I'll share a little bit here. So I think the part that I enjoy the most about it is I get to peek into some of the best in the business, like
Mm,
behind their business. I get to see what's working with their funnel. I get to see,
yeah,
what's working with their ads, and obviously have an integral part in that as well. So
yeah,
like over the last 5 to 7 years, I've been able to see so behind so many different businesses that I'm able to pull from so many different data points. Same time, anyone that hires me now, they're not
yeah,
just getting the me to work on their account. They're getting all this knowledge from all these other accounts that I've been working on. It's the
uh-huh,
accumulation effect of that helps really propel them to the next level. And for me, what I've actually been focusing on, and where I'm shifting towards now, is more of a partnership model. So
okay,
um, what I realized is that a lot of people that I work with, they need more than just ads. They need more just
gotcha.
than YouTube ads. They need help with. They need like I can drive all the traffic in the world, but if you're not, if if your funnel is crap, and
Mm-hmm.
if your emails are not set up right and you're not doing follow up, if you don't have a sales team in place, like it's almost like carrying a bucket of water with holes in the bucket, right? It's like you're just wasting money. So
Yeah.
my the model I'm shifting more towards is longer term partnerships, so 6 to 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still there's still a retainer part or an upfront fee, just so there's some skin in the game that they
Yeah.
put up to pay to play, and then a percentage of either the sales, the profit, or
Mm,
some kind of agreement along that lines where we're both sharing in the upside. But I'm taking over more responsibility of the entire business in terms of like
yeah.
whether somebody comes in with no offer and they're just like, hey, I'm an expert in this thing, like
Yeah.
I can help them build that system that scales their expertise. Or there's the person that comes in and says, hey, I got this thing, it's kind of working, but like what do you think about this? It's a lot of it comes down to like strategy and the offer creation, making sure that they
Mm.
have these multiple tiers of a low ticket, mid ticket, and high ticket, and then just making sure that there's no holes in the bucket.
Oh wow. You mentioned offer several times, and I think some people are not sure what exactly is an offer. Can you break down or give an example? What is an offer and what does a good offer look like?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll give you my best definition of it, and I'm going to give a
Yeah.
reference or a resource that I think that will help a lot of people if they want to dig in deeper. So, an offer, the way I like to describe it is like if you think about a gift, right? They have this.
Mhm.
So let's say it's Christmas time. You got this gift, like in the box, right? You have this box, and you can put whatever you want in the box, and
Mhm.
depending on what you put in the box depends on how valuable it's perceived, right? So
Yeah.
you want to gift, or you want to create this most valuable perceived gift or box, this offer to give to somebody or to sell to somebody, right? So
Yeah.
basically it is it's a packaged good of, it can be one thing, but obviously the more things you put together, the more you bundle, the more valuable it is, right? So when you see course creators, they'll have one
Mhm.
course, then they'll have additional resources, plus they'll have maybe some coaching calls, plus
Mhm.
this other resource, maybe some software that's part of it as well. So it's like all these things together creates an offer, right? And the whole
Gotcha.
idea is to create irresistible offers, to create something like that. I can't remember if it's Hermosi or if someone, I think he took it from somebody else actually, but
Yeah.
create offers that people feel that are so good that people feel stupid saying no to, right?
Gotcha.
So yeah, and just in terms of the resource, if anyone else want to dig really into this, like Hermosi's book, obviously 100 million offers is probably one of the best resources at this moment for that.
Fantastic. Wow. So to wrap things up, what is that one tip you would share with any small business owners, entrepreneurs, coaches, consultant, from all the years of knowledge that you've gathered from working with all those top entrepreneurs and coaches?
I think the biggest thing is you have to test a lot of ads. You have to test a lot of
Mm,
ads. So the
okay.
biggest mistake that I see most entrepreneurs and brands make is that they will test a couple ads, and then they'll say, "Oh, the YouTube ads doesn't work for me." No, it's really, you have to, like I said, you have to line up the three pillars, right? The offer, the
Yeah.
audience, and the creative. And like once you have an offer, that works, you really have to test these different audiences and then make sure you're testing lots of creative. So if you're just throwing up,
Gotcha.
3 to 5 ads, that's not going to cut it. You have to, 10, 20, 50, 100 ads, and just keep on pounding it until you finally find something that
Mhm.
clicks and works.
So if somebody said, wow, this sounds amazing, but I'm not gonna have no time to do any of this, can they just call you or reach out to you?
I got
And how
you. I got you.
do they-
Absolutely. So, and the cool thing is, like, I handle the full stack for for entrepreneurs, right? So it's strategy, scripting, production, and then launching and actually managing, scaling the campaigns. So basically,
Gotcha.
I'll set up everything. I'll tell you what to do. All you have to do is just have, like I said, have a good offer to sell.
Yeah,
And even that can help you kind of formulate and create that offer.
fantastic. And how do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so the best way to contact me is just go to my website. It's drewcrawford.com. So it's Drew as my first name, Crawford, Crawford. And
Hmm.
you'll find all my information there. You know, I have some other digital products, but also just social media and email, and book a call with me if you actually want to talk and strategize around your taking your accounts to YouTube.
Fantastic, guys. This is Drew. I'm telling you, he's one of the top expert on YouTube ads. I was blown away by what I learned from him, and I'm sure you guys just learned a lot today. Definitely check him out. Thanks for coming in, brother.
Hey man, appreciate it.